welcome back to the 8th concession. My name is Natalie. Well, I have a wagon load of celery that I pulled from the garden, and seeing as it all needs to be chopped and frozen, and today is supposed to be pretty cold here, only 1 or 2 degrees, around 33, 34 Fahrenheit. It was a perfect day to make some of my homemade chicken noodle soup using some of that celery. So that's what I'm going to do today. Let's get to work. I use chicken legs for my chicken noodle soup. They're inexpensive, and about 3 legs gives me enough chicken meat for a big pot of soup. So the first thing I do is to cook the chicken with some celery, onion and carrot to make sort of like a broth, and then I'll finish the soup off later. So into the pot it goes. So I've got my chicken legs in my pot with a good amount of water covering them. I add some salt. I add chopped onion, as much or as little as you want, depending on how oniony you like yours. This is about a medium onion chopped up. And then I just add the offcuts of my celery and carrots. I'm not adding the good chopped carrots and celery I'll have in the soup, because when I pull the chicken legs out to chop up the meat and take it off the bone, the celery and the carrots tend to come with it. So right now I'm just putting them in for flavor, because I'm basically making the broth. There are some of the carrots. There's some of the celery. I leave them big so they're easy to take out. I add a couple of bay leaves and some poultry seasoning. No real measurements. I kind of do it by eye. And I'm going to let this simmer and cook for about an hour or so until the chicken meat is soft and falling off the bone. So the soup has been simmering for a couple of hours now, and the chicken is ready to come out. But first I'm going to chop up my celery. I've already done my carrots, but I've used maybe half of one stalk. We're going to have a lot of celery. There, now that is really well done. You can see how soft the chicken is. So now I'm going to take it out so I can remove the meat. It's already falling apart, which is the way I like it. Now some of the spices and such has left a bit of a dark ring there. So I like to just wet a paper towel and clean that off. There we go, that's better. And you can see a lot of the water has boiled away, so I'm going to add some more. Next, I'm going to add my chopped carrots to start cooking, and my celery. Now I'm just going to take the meat off the bones with my hands, which I've washed. And I'm just going to put it in this bowl here where the carrots were. So I've let the carrots and celery simmer for about half an hour or so to have them soften. And now I'm going to add all the chicken that I picked off the 3 chicken legs. I'll cut it into smaller pieces as I put it in. Now, if you find your broth is too mild, you want a little more flavor, you can always add like a chicken bouillon cube or a couple of tablespoons of chicken bouillon granules if you like. Sometimes I do that depending. Give it a taste and see. I just cut to make sure that the chicken pieces are bite-sized. And 3 chicken legs gives you a good amount of chicken. This is going to be a nice hearty soup. And the last thing I do is add my noodles. Now I like to use egg noodles. And the type I use are actually cholesterol-free egg white noodles, so they have no yolks in them. Now I use a full package. It is a 340 gram package, so half a pound maybe. We just really like noodles in our house, so we put lots in. There we go. Now to that, I'm going to add a little fresh pepper. And let it simmer until the noodles are soft. The noodles have softened and the soup is ready. And while the soup was cooking, I washed, chopped, and bagged all the rest of the celery. And I got 5 medium-sized bags to put in the freezer. There we go, dinner for tonight. So thanks for joining me in the kitchen today as I whipped up some warm and comforting homemade chicken noodle soup using fresh celery from my garden. Bye for now.